Hello, teachers, and thank you for being here with us to discuss our student, Chris Kaya. I'd like to thank you for all of your efforts throughout this year in working with him. Chris Kaya is, as we all know, is 15 years old. He's native Hawaiian. He lives at Grandpa, and he pretty much is starting a new life here in Kapolei High School, at Kapolei High School in the Kapolei area. So, as we've been debriefing since the beginning of the school year, the school year is coming to an end and we're winding it down. These are the things that we have learned from our students and from Chris Kaya through their data that was driven through our standards 6 and 7, Hawaii State standards, and collaboratively I have felt that there has been a tremendous and almost you can use it as a model for every student or classroom in our Kapolei High School community. Why? Because it works. And Chris Kaya is to me, is our favorite and our best student that we can use as an example of how collaboratively using the data from our technology tools that we have embedded in our classroom and inside of our live Google Classroom every day. Yes, our live Google Classroom every day. I know our principal is so happy with that. Like, we ran it simultaneously with our in-school live 100% classroom, to where if you were absent on any given day for any reason, you could tap into our Google Classroom and everything will be available for what we did that day, including a lesson done separately by another team teacher in that class. So let's focus on the type of technology that we have used, not only in our Google Classroom, but also inside of our classroom itself. Well, besides taking the basic paper and pencil, we also had assessment tools that we use to prepare for ourselves. IXL is one. It's an IXL program which breaks down options by grade level and content area. The IXL diagnostic is a versatile tool that reveals exactly what students know and assists you in taking actionable steps to promote growth at all levels. So in our classroom, whether they're doing it through the Google Classroom or they can have time to do it as a classroom assignment in our live class, students will take this diagnostic tool that is actually used it's like an assignment. It's like kind of like a quiz. So whenever you get the problem right, you get a percentage that climbs the ladder. So you need to make it all the way up to 90%. But if you get the problem wrong, no matter where you are, it takes you down several percentage points. And students just learn how to challenge themselves with that. It also was very important to us as teachers, which you all know that you have designed your next day lessons literally according to after you've done your IXL grading for that one particular unit. In other words, do we need to reteach it? Do we need to do smaller groups? Do we need to split the class in half? I mean, do we need to give step-by-step instruction with everyone at one time and then break down into small groups? So it has been a great tool for us to use. There also is another tool called Quizzes, which takes the students through their Google Classroom. And this software is used in class also through their Google Classroom, group assignments, pre-test review, and formative assessments and pop quizzes. But know that their final benchmark, which is the bigger grade, the larger grade, comes from their paper and pencil. But these are the tools that our students could use, which was very helpful for us, as we all know, to do our next day lessons or our next lesson in particular for that unit. Another great tool, technical tool, is Kahoot, which we all know. We use it even in our private lives, at parties, at home, home evening gatherings. It comes in really handy as a tool for data also, as we can literally see which kids are doing it, and then we'll see who got it right, who got it. So again, it's data driven. We also have these weekly debriefings, which is really important because we take all of those things into consideration, and then we go ahead and we design or we redesign, if we have to, for our next step in the direction of prepping our students for a unit benchmark for that time being. But nevertheless, we take into not only these technological resources, which are great and it'll only get better with the future, but we also take into consideration what's going on with our students' lives. So know that on a technical basis, these brilliant people from all over the world have created these things, and yet we still have to do our own data, see how our students are doing, what's going on at home, how can we help them, so together becomes one strong unit. And so I'd like to thank you and mahalo to all of you who have made great efforts in taking data, collaborating, breaking things down, see who needs help. As for Chris Kaya, he has done well. He started off with needing a lot of help with his notes from his accommodations and modifications, to asking me for help on a one-on-one, to now he puts his notes on the side. He doesn't need to use me doing unit benchmark time, and he has used his own strength to make himself progress in the right direction, and we are just so grateful for his progress. He started off as a 0% when he started to come back to school and is now at a solid 82%. So thank you. Mahalo.